Ola is joining us. Okay,
Okay.
awesome. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, if a gentleman joins us later. I am Sophie, and today is Zoom number 2 of the 4 Zooms to create your own reality. And today we're going to talk about beyond success, what is out there. But before we talk about beyond success, we have to look at how you define success. So if you're on with me tonight, I would love for you to share what you think success means to you. So some of us may think that success is money. Like if I have a certain amount of money, then I'm successful. Some of us may think that success is prestige. If this many people respect me, or I have reached a certain level of knowledge in my career, then it's success. Some people may think that it's fun. If they're having fun, they're being successful. Some people may think it's the impact they have on others. If they are impacting and influencing others, then they are successful. But the truth is, there's not one definition of success. Unfortunately, all these, as soon as you start defining success as some specific, you are actually including judgment in it. So everything I just mentioned has a part of it is judgment, and how you're going to judge yourself if whether you have done this or not. I just need to drink for a little bit. So if you have a certain amount of money, awesome, you're successful. But if you don't have that money, then you're going to judge yourself for not being successful. And you cannot have success if you are including judgment in it. It just won't work. So what now you have to look at is, what is beyond all of this? What is it that you actually want to experience in your life that will make you feel like you want to get up in the morning and you want to keep doing it, and you want to keep doing it and have more of it? And it doesn't matter how much energy it requires, you just want to go do it. So that's what we need to look at, because the success of having those things I mentioned, those benchmarks, it's nice, and it's going to be something you're going to reach, and then what, right? So it's actually it's smaller than the bigger vision. What is your bigger vision for yourself? So anybody wants to share?
I think my biggest vision is kind of like what you said, like just feeling good when I wake up in the morning. Like when I wake up feeling like, I mean, even if I'm still a little tired, like, oh, good, like, let's get this party started. Or like, just like, I guess that I don't have any resistance when I'm waking up to meet my day. Like, I like that feeling.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And what if you started looking at life as a series of things that can change and grow? So basically, every day, some people would say we grow older. Okay, I say we just change. Our bodies change, right? We change. We have different experiences that maybe change our thoughts or how we feel about things or what we know. And for me, life is just a total journey of growing and learning and changing. And if I can make that fun and exciting, then that's what's going to get me up in the morning. I'm going to get up in the morning because, wow, I wonder what I'm going to change today. I wonder what I'm going to learn today. I wonder how I'm going to be even better than I was yesterday, or even greater than I was yesterday. So that's what I would like you all to look at. Because here's a little secret I just learned, is that if you start looking at that, the money, the recognition, the all the other benchmarks that we mentioned at the beginning, they're going to be taken care of. They'll be part of it. And that's amazing. It's what we actually want to have in our life. But the biggest thing is you cannot have judgment. If you have judgment in your life, if you're judging yourself, then it's going to slow down what's possible. And
Oh, sorry.
No, what is that?
That's my dog.
Oh, it's such a funny sound. So I was like, it sounds like a horn or something. Oh, okay. So always learning, growing, expanding, changing, having more, being greater every day is really above and beyond success. And when you choose to have that in your life, everything else gets taken care of. So what's really great about this is you can never make yourself wrong, because if you fail, then it's not a failure anymore. It's an opportunity to learn something and to grow. If you don't make a mistake, something you learn and you grow. If you have not accomplished or achieved whatever it is that you said you wanted to accomplish or achieve, it's okay, because now you know what it is you need to learn or grow or change or have more of in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So everything that you do becomes this amazing possibility for growing, learning, and expanding. How does it get any better than that? And how much more fun can it be, right?
I have a question. So
Yes.
when you said you get up in the morning and the questions you're asking are, how much fun can I have today? And how much can I learn today? And I mean, those do sound nice. And then it's probably really exciting to just see what shows up when you ask that in the morning. But I would say I'm guessing it's more judgmental the way I wake up, because I'm thinking about what I'm going to do, like in furtherance of different goals. So I guess that's how I judge my day and the success of my day. Yeah. And I wouldn't say that I necessarily, when something happens and things don't go the way I want, then that puts me into question of like, okay, what am I supposed to be learning here or doing differently? But I don't wake up with the question of, oh, how am I going to be different? I wake up with like, oh, it feels like things are going the way I want. Let's keep going this way.
Yeah. So if you ever work with me or take classes with me, you will find out that I don't ever like to do things the same way that everybody does it. And I'm always looking for people that look at the world differently. So recently I heard of this book called Profit First. And I'm going to admit right away that I just started reading it, so I don't know the whole concept of this book. But from what I understand, it's about, in business, how people consider they make profit is they take income minus expenses and it gives profit. And the author of the book says this is all wrong, because you need to take the profit first, then the expenses. And that's what you need to create, which is actually how it functions. Is what is it that I want to have in my life? What is it gonna take to have that I want in my life? And then I'm gonna go do that. So if I wake up in the morning, and I ask myself, I wonder how I can be greater today than I was yesterday, or I wonder what I can change today, I'm gonna get an awareness. So it's not going to be something specific, but I'm going to have an awareness of what it is that I want to change or create in the day. And then I'll ask what is required. And that's where the to-dos come up, right? So the to-dos come up after I ask those big questions of, okay, so what can I change and how can I be greater today? Then what is required are the to-dos. And what's really interesting is when you ask first those questions, the to-dos that come up, they're going to be totally illogical. They're going to make no sense, but they're going to make you smile. They're going to be like, oh, that sounds really interesting. They're going to make you want to do it versus, oh, same old. I want to grow my business. I'm going to send more emails or make some more videos. And I do it that way because I have some clients who refuse to have an email system, for instance. They're like, I'm an artist and I don't want to have an email system. I just want somebody else to do it for me. Yeah, but if you don't actually set it up, if you don't put the pieces together that are required, then your big vision is probably not going to happen. And, you know, I love the metaphor of working out, because I just started working out about a month ago, and it's mind-blowing to me what is required for my body to grow muscles. And yes, the energy work is awesome, and I do it as well, but the effort and the amount of energy and the intensity of energy that is required on my body for my body to change and morph into muscles is mind-blowing. It's a very, very big energy for me that I'm not used to. So I really got that into my mind, and I realized, wow, this is like everything in life. So if we want to grow something, if we want to make more money, if we want to have greater relationships, we're going to have to push. We're going to have to or pull an amazing amount of energy and intensity that we probably never pulled before, because it was beyond what we thought we needed. We've been told, I mean, I'm the first I'm the first self-help junkie you will ever meet, right? Like, I've probably done it all. So for me, it's going to be easy. I'm going to attract it. I'm going to manifest it. I'm going to fucking thought it, all of that, right? And I remember the first time I got an Access Consciousness book in my hands, and I read Gary say, you have to do this clearing 30 times a day for 30 days. I was like, that's too much work, right? And now, 7 years later, I'm like, yeah, he was absolutely right. Like, doing it 30 times a day for 30 days actually is nothing compared to what I sometimes find myself doing, because the intensity, the energy that is required to grow and change is really big, and much bigger than I thought. And I want everybody to understand this, because success, or going beyond success, having your big vision, is going to require so much of you. And if you're not willing to be uncomfortable, to sweat it, to shake, to cry, to whine, to complain, but still do it, are you going to go? Are you going to learn and change? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, that puppy is just too cute. I'm sorry. Now he's the star, and he's just taken over. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh, somebody else joined us.
Tummy rub time.
All right. Do you guys have any questions on what I just mentioned? Because I know it's a different concept, what I'm talking about.
I totally get the concept. And then as soon as I get ideas, because of everything else that's currently going on in my life, I go into overwhelm. And so that stuff gets pushed back, because I have the to-dos have got to get done. And then I'm at the end of the day, and it's like, oh, fuck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madeline, for saying that, because it's such an interesting one too. So, like, I'm a mom. And so as a mom, I've set up my success at a very bare minimum. Are they clean? Are they fed? And, are they safe, basically? Basically, that's the bare minimum. If I've done this, I'm a successful mom. The rest is just icing on the cake, right? Because, like, I love Erica and everything she talked about recently. If you don't know Erica, she sometimes shows up on those rooms. And I love that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so happy that I don't judge myself too much as a mom, because I would be like my daughter, just to get her to put on her pajamas and get in bed, it was intense. And I am very good at being like, okay, is this my priority right now? That she puts on her pajamas, maybe not. Like, my priority is I have to get on this Zoom. So whether she's happy to put on her pajamas and get to bed, that is actually not my problem at this point. So I have those things that maybe other moms would be like, well, I have to make sure that, she's happy, she's content, she knows I love her. Well, she has to get to bed so I can get on the Zoom, period. Like, if that does not happen, I'm not going to be happy. And if I'm not happy, then she's definitely she's going to suffer from it. So there are a lot of other things that come in play, and there are a lot of things that are going to want your attention. And it's not that you have to do those other things poorly, but it's okay. And if you don't judge yourself for them, it will be okay. It will get taken care of. And look, I have a child in bed with her pajamas on, and I'm very happy about that, right? So it's those things that show up. Sometimes we think we have to do everything well, everything perfectly, or the house has to be clean, and do we? Like, it's also very important for us to, when we look at what is required for those things, those big visions, that we know that big vision is going to include the kids, is going to include the body, is going to include my sanity. Like, it has to be included in that big vision. If you don't include that in your big vision, then for sure at some point something is going to break, right? So it's not really a juggle, and there's nothing to compromise, but it is a choice. And when I am very, very clear on what my priority is, it makes things a lot easier, because I don't judge myself and I don't judge other things for not showing up the way that ideally they will show up. So I don't waste time. I also don't have stories about those things, and oh, maybe I should do this differently, and well, I heard this person say this. I don't have those stories, like for business, for instance. So if you grow a business, if you want to go, even just start a business today, and you look at everything, all the experts, everything that the experts say you should do to grow your business today, especially if you're doing it just by yourself, it's like, when do I eat and when do I sleep, basically, right? And at the same time, if you take a moment and be like, okay, what matches, what is it that I want to be and do and create in the world, there'll be a few things that will pop that will work for you. So for instance, I live in America, but I speak French, I'm French. And so it's easy for me to do things in French, but I don't live in France. So to develop a business in France, I had to find another way. And I could go and visit France a lot and try to do events in France so that people meet me and know me. But instead, what I did is I did exactly those type of Zooms twice a month. I've been doing them for 4 or 5 years now, and twice a month. And I just invite French people to come and join me and ask me any question. And now I can create a class anytime I want when I go to France and have people show up for my class because they've seen my videos. I was very, very clear and focused on making those things that work for me, that are fun, and that I know people get benefit from. All right, so Madeline or Sarita or Ola, I would love to hear what comes up when I talk about the big vision, like going for the big vision. What comes up when I say that?
Should I go or okay? So good morning or good evening, everyone. I love how today's topic is exactly what I've been battling with for the past 2 days.
Yeah.
Just to kind of give a summary before talking about the vision. So the funny thing is, I don't say what success means to me. I kind of go like, and this is a question that I've been kind of playing in my head for the past 2 days. What does achievement look like for me?
Right.
Because yeah, it's the same thing. Because I found myself inviting so much judgment the past couple of days, and whereby I'm like, and I know I'm doing it, and I know I'm not doing myself a favor, but I'm like, you know what? If this is what's showing up right now, fine. I'm just going to be miserable for 2 days, and then let's see, and then change, right? Rather than resist everything that's showing up. So clearly, there's something I want to kind of sulk about. So as like, literally, I'm like, I find myself comparing, which I know is completely wrong and defies the purpose, myself to other people, going, right, so this guy's got a financial portfolio. He's he's younger than me than 6 years. This one's doing this. This one's doing that.
Oh my gosh.
Stop, oh my God, you've no idea. You've no idea. And then I stopped yesterday and I was like, okay, so what is it that's required here? What does achievement look like for me? Which I can't seem to, I get a vision, but nothing beyond that.
Can you change the word?
I know I can change the world.
No. Can you change the word achievement? The word achievement, can you change it and switch it for another word?
Achievement. Yeah, I suppose for some reason inspire comes up. So
okay. So what would inspire you?
So well, that's interesting. That would be a good one. I was kind of going for who or what can I inspire in the world?
What about what would inspire you?
Yeah, what would inspire me? I have no clarity. This is something we've spoken about before, and it's coming up very strongly right now.
Ola?
Yes.
How much have you defined yourself as somebody who has no clarity?
So much so I'm in boxes, and I think I've kind of like mutilated myself at this point.
So what if for one day you decided, okay, today, Friday, October 5th, I am the queen of clarity.
I'd like that because I've got so much things on my to-do list.
Good. So today I'm the queen of clarity. I'm very clear, and I'm gonna know everything that I need to know right away.
I like that. Yes.
Because your point of view creates your reality.
Yep.
So just change your point of view. That's it.
Yep. And I've got a very interesting point of view that came up while you were talking right now, actually. And
what is it?
So when you were talking about inviting all this intensity in order for you to create change within your body. And the first thing that popped up, because Sophie, you know what's really pissing me off is, I'm the queen of manifestation. I'm sorry, I haven't had my coffee yet. I barely slept. It's a little early, but I love you. Anyways, so what really pissed me off is, how I'm the queen of manifestation. I can manifest anything. So I've manifested two things that are teasing me because they're at the edge of transferring into something great, but they're not willing to transfer because obviously.
So what are you refusing to be?
I am refusing to pour. This is my interesting point of view. I am in refusing to invite or to put all this intensity into something because I am scared that I'm going to lose me. Look at how annoyingly stupid that is.
But did you watch the Zoom we did last week?
Nope, but I should.
Yeah, you were on it. Weren't you on it? You were on it. The unicorn.
Yes, I was.
Okay, and we talked about how being me is being everything.
Yes.
So if you're being everything, you can never lose you.
Yes, I see. I will say yes because a part of me knows that's true. And then there's this other part that's like, no, it's that stupid voice I want to kill. No, you are going to lose you because you're going to have, and this is stupid as well. And I know it's stupid saying it, but it's like, you're going to lose control over yourself because now you're going to be everywhere and it's going to drain you and it's just not going to happen because you're going to get miserable.
That's stupid. So you're going to stop being I know. I'm making fun.
I know you are.
But listen, all of you, I love Ola. She's brilliant and she knows how much I love her. So
I do.
What she's talking about is so perfect because she knows she has this voice in her head that says, well, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. And so she's not moving forward. She's not being the intensity that's required because she's afraid of what's going to happen. But she knows it's not true as well. Now, we all do that. We all, we don't want to say yes to the date because we're afraid that, he's going to stalk us. And we know he's never going to stalk us. I mean, it's going to happen 1 in 10,000 people that we're going to find a stalker. It's just like there's so many fake stories that we tell ourselves. But here's the thing, and I want all of you to listen to this very carefully. If you want to stop those voices, there's only one thing that will stop those voices is to take action anyway.
I can't seem to do that, Sophie. I can't.
Then it's not time. Then it's not the right action. Then it's something else. And then don't do it. And that's it. But are you judging yourself for that?
I am judging myself for that. Yeah. And there's a part of me that knows because the two things that showed up, it was the first time in a year where I actually felt like laughing like a 5-year-old. It felt so joyful. So why am I stopping myself from being joyful and choosing that?
Because you're not a joyful person, are you?
Nope. I am.
Listen, if don't fool yourself. If you know you're stopping yourself, it's either because it's the right choice for you at the time. So like you should not move forward, or you just want somebody to give you a kick in the butt so you move forward.
And you know what? I manifested that person and oh my God, he's such an asshole. It's unbelievable.
Great. So you need bad, mean people in your world to move forward. I'm sorry. Those of you who are not Ola, you don't need bad, mean people in the world to move forward. I'm telling you.
It's not me.
Okay. Ola, I know a little bit about the world that you come from, and every country in the world has this in a different shape, but how much of us have grown in a culture where there is a piece of drama in it? So it's like, hard work, or it's like cultural, or it's the government, or there's a piece of drama in our culture, right? And so when that piece of drama is not there, we're so used to having it that we have to create it. And we fabricate it with mean people, or I'm not going to move forward because, I'm afraid, or like all of that. It's just fabrication. It's fake. None of it is real. So I will say it again. The only way to stop those thoughts that are in your head is to take action. That's the only way. If you take action, they'll stop. And until you choose to take action, it won't stop. Period.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. I kind of needed to hear it.
But thank you so much. Thank you, Ola, for sharing.
Thank you.
It's very, very good. Like, you can say that you want to meet somebody, but if you stay in your home, every night, never talk to anybody, you will not meet people. You can say,
I disagree, because I met someone while I was on my couch. So if anyone wants tips.
no, but okay, fine. Tonight she's disagreeing with me. But did you meet this person, and did you actually like have a good relationship with that person, or did it end up?
No, I did. It was funny because I met him. I met him through a group chat, and then we started chatting by ourselves. And then from there, the irony was 2 days later, he actually moved into my building. So yes, it can happen. And then obviously we physically met after that. But no, you can do things from your couch. I've got a golden couch. I'm telling you.
All right. So unless you have Ola's golden couch, I don't know if you can meet people from your couch. This is probably the exception. All right. But action is going, like, even sending an email to somebody is an action, or making a phone call is an action. Like, you don't actually need to go and knock on people's doors, even though I have to tell you that works really well too. But taking action can be as simple as sending an email or calling somebody, or it could be drawing something and then posting it for everybody to see it, or it could be writing an article or making a video. All of that, those are taking actions as well. Okay. All right. Anybody else, Sarita or Maddie, do you have anything else that comes up?
What was the question? I don't remember it.
Yeah. Well, now we're kind of far ahead of it. Well, I just talked a lot, and I wanted to see if, about the big vision. So when we mention the big vision, what comes up for you?
Yes, I'm not sure. I think, like what I said before, is that.
Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What I said before is, like, what's important for me is that feeling of enjoying getting up and just like automatically wanting to go for my day, like just not having any resistance to that, and just, I guess it's similar to like that asking what's required, though I don't recognize where I ask that. I just get up and I guess I see like, oh, this today and this today, and I see these things that are in furtherance of whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing. And then I also, go ahead.
Supposed to be doing. Who says you're supposed to be doing anything?
I guess I feel like I'm supposed to do them because they show up as something that like that is required for.
Okay, got it. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Like even the event today at the Jonathan Club, I got invited to it 2 days ago, and I was like, oh, that looks good. I think, that's something that sounds like in line with what I want. Like, I mean, part of something that's important to me is networking in the commercial real estate industry and getting more comfortable with project development finance. So I was like, sounds really perfect. So for today, like, that was one of the things on the to-do list to do today. And like,
so was there any resistance? Like, was there any part of you that did not want to do it?
The only reason I didn't want to do it is because I had to skip class to do it. Okay. But then I just decided, I'm like, what's more important, But it worked out really well because I went to go do my reading for the classes for today while I was at my work study this morning. Uh-huh. And one of the classes, my tax class, I already did the reading for it 2 weeks ago and I forgot. Like, I started reading, I was like, no, I already read all this. But so I just like reviewed the notes that I had in my book, and that made me feel even better because I was like, oh, I'll have to miss class, but I'll just read it and see. But I totally am comfortable with that material. But no, there was no part of me that really didn't want to go. I like networking events.
So one thing I want to say that I've noticed is when you start taking the actions that are required for that big vision, the universe shows up and like make things easier in other areas. So like earlier with Maddie, we were talking about getting overwhelmed because of all the to-dos that there is to do. And that's the thing, is when you actually dedicate yourself to your big vision, and when you put a lot of energy and intensity in that big vision, then everything that could take your mind away from it gets taken care of. I remember one week I had something come up one week where I had a lot happening at the same time, but I also had my children, and I share my children with my ex-husband. So suddenly I was like, I need somebody to watch my kids for me, and I couldn't remember what, but he sent me an email and say, hey, if you want, I can watch the kids for you. And this would not have happened in the past. I was like, oh my gosh, the universe shows up in ways that I did not expect, because I was so going for what I wanted to create and have in my life. So this is, the universe has your back, and the universe wants everything that you want for you. And it will come up with ways for those little things to get taken care of that you could not have figured out on your own.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Even so, last weekend I redid my LinkedIn profile because it looked really very pathetic and sad. So I added to it like some of the different volunteer things that I like to do. And in DC, I used to volunteer at events a lot. And I'm not necessarily like commercial real estate or hospitality events, just in general. I would do it for women's groups and stuff like that. I just liked it. And so I added that to my LinkedIn. And then Tuesday night, I was at an event, and a woman that I met at a previous event, she also is she's an event coordinator for this Black Lawyers Gala here in LA, and asked me if I wanted to volunteer. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's perfect. Then I get to go for free, and I only have to volunteer ahead of time, and then I get to sit at a table at the gala and stuff. I was like, oh, that's so interesting. I literally just put it on my LinkedIn 2 days ago that I want to start doing events again.
That's awesome.
But I wanted to say, so I have like my smaller, I guess not smaller goal. My career goals are big to me because I don't have a ton of other things in my life like right now. But so I have my career goals, and that's my smaller thing. But as far as like a big idea of what success is in like all of my life, I don't really have, when I think of like what is that, I don't have anything other than that. I just want to keep enjoying my life. I do feel like I kind of want it to be easy. The idea of it sounds, I'm not fully aligned with the idea that you say, like, I believe you, but it's like I'm not fully aligned with it yet.
So there's a couple of things. It's a very complex idea, because the big vision is actually to make things easier in our lives. So for instance, when I saw that I had to be 2 days in a hotel with my kids, I went for a very nice, like a very comfortable hotel where it was close to the girls' schools. And it definitely cost more money than if I had just taken the cheapest hotel that was available and could take us all, right? Like I went for the big thing. So the ease and the relaxation and the comfort and all of that is definitely part of the big vision. What I was saying is, in order to get there, in order to have all of that, there is an intensity of energy that's going to be required, because for many of us, we're jumping from one level to the other. Now, for you, Sarita, that energy may be doing things that you love doing and doing them all the time, and making choices that work for you in alignment with who you know yourself to be. That could be the intense energy. You know what I mean? Like that could be it. For me, like working out is an intense energy, or dedicating myself to doing research on the web for 3 hours a day is intense energy. Like we each have, it doesn't have to be difficult per se, but it has to be a priority. It has to take over our lives. It has to be something that we dedicate ourselves to.
I see. Yeah, actually I know, because like for me, like cleaning my kitchen is not, I want a clean kitchen, I do. And if I work every day to say, okay, clean the kitchen, clean the kitchen, clean the kitchen, the kitchen's clean and I'm really happy. And if I don't, then the kitchen gets messy. It takes a lot of energy. And it actually wasn't always that way. Actually, it's been that way since I moved to my new place. In my place downtown, it was like clockwork for me to clean my house, and I loved it being always like spotless all the time. But now it is a really intense energy for me to try to keep my house perfect. But I have awareness of that, and it's, I guess like you were saying earlier with priorities, I'm like, it's not a priority right now. Like there's these other things, and I'm not aspiring to be a housekeeper.
And I wonder, like, what system can you implement, either with your time, or maybe is it time to get somebody to come and clean the kitchen every so often?
Yeah, I haven't budgeted for that. I had it in the past, and then that's what I just keep thinking, that I'm not going to train myself to be a housekeeper if it's going to really upset me. But then just plan to have that again.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you were saying like letting go of judgments, because sometimes I let myself slip into thinking, because, you know, I don't know if you've ever heard people say this before, but there's a stereotype that people say, like, you know, if a woman doesn't keep her house clean, like something's wrong with her, like she's either mentally unstable or...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and so I'm like, wait, am I losing my mind? Like, that's like...
But is that true? Is it true, or is that just what people say because they want to make themselves feel good for cleaning?
Yeah, I don't know.
They want to make themselves feel good for cleaning. Trust me. In fact, I'm very messy. I mean, I like clean, but organized is not my cup of tea at all. So I have a very messy desk. My house, there's just stuff all over my house. And for a while, I was living with somebody who likes things to be really neat and organized. So it was a conflict. And then my friend said, but you're the artist, Sophie. And I was like, what does that mean? And she said, well, you know, you need to have everything around because that's how you create. And I was like, oh, it's true that even though it looks disorganized, I know where everything is. Right? Like I don't waste any time looking for something. I know exactly where it is because it's not put away. It's right there in front of me.
Right.
So everybody has, so it doesn't mean anything. Like, even if you are always late. Okay, so this is one of my pet peeves. Now, I try not to be late anymore, but for a long time, I was always late. And a lot of people will say, well, it's because you don't respect other people's time. No, it's because I try to cram as much as I can in my day. So I leave at the last minute. That's pretty much it. That's why I'm often late. But people like have these concepts and ideas of, and so then suddenly they throw this trait at you, and you're like, no, that's not me. It's just what you think it is, but it's not. So you can acknowledge yourself, even if others don't. It doesn't matter. They don't have to acknowledge you.
Okay.
Okay, Maddie, do you have anything else? Any questions?
No, not really. I'm just sitting back and kind of basking in the energy of what's going on. You know, I'm in agreement with most of it. And in some places, at the present moment, the bigger vision of more ease in my life, you know, is there. But I have zero concept of the to-do part of that, right? You know, I'm at a place where I here we go. You know, it's my intention over the next period of time to change what the main focus of my career and do it differently, you know. Perhaps not work at a chiropractor's office as much, do more private clients, etc. you know, and then ultimately maybe do more bars and body processes, and then from there, who knows, you know, but segue into an easier form of income, you know, and then from there, so I've got this vague idea, you know, and all of a sudden the chiropractor's office is so freaking busy that when I come out of there, and then I go to the gym and I do my exercise and I take care of my body, right? And then I come home and it's like, you know, you know, and, you know, take care of the grocery shopping and the little things of life that support the rest of it. And so to come home at 8 or 9 in the evening and try to, the idea of even thinking, you know, for research, etc., is like, bleh, right?
I totally get that. And for that, I have to say that my favorite thing is, universe, help, please.
Yeah.
Like, I just need help. Can you either make the chiropractor's hours lighter so I have more, you know, or while I'm at the chiropractor, I can think about something or whatever it is, but universe, please help.
Yeah.
You know, like, none of us are alone. Even if we live alone or, you know, it doesn't matter. We're not alone. There's a huge world out there. And so many things happen synchronistically all day long. We just have to lower our barriers and be like, okay, I'm ready to receive help now. Give it to me. That's it.
And,
you know,
and over the last couple of years, because I'm in a class or two right now where I'm really faced with how many walls I've put up without even realizing they're there.
Yeah.
You know, it's so much a part of me, my, you know, it's not the real me, but it's become so much of a, you know, the appearance of me or whatever, that it's autopilot. And, you know, I'm in the process of changing it because now I'm aware of it, you know, now I'm aware of it. So hello, first step to change is awareness, you know?
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's awesome.
Doing my best to not beat myself up for it is like, you know, as Jessica always says in her Into the Beyond group, is like, oh my, laugh at yourself. Oh my, what a silly, look at me. Look how silly, look what I've done, you know, and change it, you know.
Yeah. For me, I'm like, just stop it. Stop it. Just stop it now.
Yeah.
Stop it. You know?
So
everybody's going to have their own way of notice of doing that. So no judgment, nothing wrong with you ever, and just ask for help. That's it. Universe, I'm ready for help right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay.
And I have begun to do that, you know. I have begun to go, hey, universe, hello, you know, hey, hello, you know. And then in the body class, what has really begun to help me take down the walls is in the Happy With My Body class that Jessica's doing. I've become aware of, after the car accident, now almost 3 years ago, I literally didn't listen to my body. It's just like, I was at fault. I had no money and I had to work to survive. So I didn't care how much my body hurt. I worked, you know.
Right.
And now I've discovered over the last few weeks in that class that just being in gratitude for my body being willing to work has shifted so much. And if I do nothing more than wake up every morning and say, thank you, body, and while I'm washing my hands between clients, thank you, body, you know, and that kind of thing, over the last few weeks I've begun to soften, you know, my relationship with my body, which is step one to softening my relationship to life. So, you know.
You know, next week we're going to talk about pain and going beyond pain with joy. So this is awesome that you be aware of this, because we're going to continue that conversation.
Right.
Doretta, did you have something to add?
I did have. It wasn't about bodies. It was about like bigger picture. So I said before, like my career is like a little like thing that's the only thing I really have focused on. And I kind of touched this when I was posting online earlier today, that as much as I love like hospitality assets, like I just have recently started to get interested in the project development financing side of it.
Yeah.
And I just, in the past 2 weeks, have gotten really excited about debt funds. And so I know, but I really like it. And so for a second, it had me choosing against hospitality law. And I was like, oh, but I like debt funds too. And I see myself making even more money doing that. And I just, I'm attracted to the mechanics of it. And then I was like, wait, no, I can choose both. And so I told you what I did. I did the POC and POD, on the resistance that I had been feeling towards my like hotel position or like hospitality law practice position. And that made me feel better. But I'm just wondering like how you would like tackle something like that before it even happens. Like, because I was really proud of myself initially because I was like, yes, this is great. I didn't go into the like, oh no, I can't have this because I can't be me in that situation. But then I went into maybe I shouldn't have this because there's something else better that I could have.
Yeah. So there's always something else better.
Yeah.
There is always, but the thing is, if you wait for that something else better, like see what shows up, see what comes up, and start playing with that. There's no jail there. You're not stuck anywhere. You can always change your mind, and you can always go do something else and reinvent yourself, or branch towards something else if you want to. Yeah. But just take it all. And if more than one thing catches your eye and is like, oh, this sounds fun and this sounds fun, great, then have both. Just be okay to have both and see what shows up first.
Right. Well, okay. I was just wondering if there was something like a mindset or question that you would recommend so that I don't ever fall into that mindset of like, oh no, I'm not going to choose, because I caught myself.
Right.
It happened before I even realized it, that I was choosing against something I'd already created for something that wasn't there yet.
So the thing is that once again, we've been lied to. If you only choose one thing, you're actually going to get bored. So many of us are actually built to choose more than one thing, more than one career, more than one jobs, more than one, source of interest. And that's how we actually thrive. We've been told we need to focus on one thing, but that is completely untrue. If you force yourself to focus on one thing, you're always going to be looking somewhere else. So you have to really include more than one thing. That's just who you are. Just the one thing is not who you are, period. And at some point you're going to see yourself having 10 different interests, and that's going to be fine.
Okay.
And it's just, there's no wrong or right choice. It's just a choice. So if you choose something, great, choose it, but choose it with all of you. Don't choose it with, okay, I'll choose it for today and then we'll see tomorrow. No, just go choose it. See how it's like, what it's like, see how it feels. And then if in 2 days, 3 days, 2 years from now it doesn't work, then don't choose it anymore. Okay. Always open to have more. Like, what will it take to have even more than you think you can receive right now?
That's a great question. Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, we're coming toward the end of the hour. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me today. I know I gave a lot of intense information all over the place, but I hope that this contributed to you. And join us next Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific time or Friday 8 a.m. Dubai time or the next one, which is getting over pain joyfully.
Mm.
So I wonder what that would contribute to your bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you.
Good night, Ola. Good night, Maggie.